Hey guys, I'm in the garden this morning and I wanted to talk a little bit about green beans and squash and what happens when we treat them. So about a week and a half ago, I treated the green beans with 8. I generally don't treat with 8 until towards the end of the season when the bugs have completely been eating up the beans and they're just about dead. And oftentimes also there's rust at this time of year. So I'll treat them with 8 one time, and also with neem oil to help deal with the rust. And I can usually get a second crop out of them when I do that. So I want to show you today what that looks like. Alright, so these are the same plants that I showed you last week, and you can kind of see that there's some green growth, just kind of looking across. There's a lot more green than there is dead. And we'll get up here a little closer. This plant here in front of me is still got the rust, has killed a lot of the leaves, but if you'll notice right here, there's a brand new leaf coming on, and of course this is a fairly new leaf, and there's a new leaf coming on there. So we have good hopes that that plant is going to make it and survive. And we'll kind of slide over here, and you see the new blossom on this plant. It was close to dead also, but it's grown out some new leaves. And then this plant here has got flowers coming on, so we expect that we'll have a second harvest out of the green beans, and that's exciting. It's the middle of August, but we still should get a second harvest. And over here on the squash is kind of the same situation. You can see some of the, like this leaf here. Let's see here. There we go. This leaf here is a diseased leaf. This one is a diseased leaf here, and this one here. But we treated last week, and if you'll notice, we've got some really nice green, fresh leaves coming on down in there. We've got flowers. Aren't those flowers pretty? Let's get that in focus for you. And of course some fruit coming on. So we've got good hopes of continuing to have a squash harvest, or at least out of the yellow squash. Our zucchini squash still needs some help, but we hope to have some more yellow squash. And I'm also going to show you, since I'm here, my okra. I don't think I've shown you that before. So the okra right now is about 3 feet tall, and it's got some of the prettiest flowers, I think. Look at that flower. Isn't that beautiful? So what happens is it'll bloom and then put on the fruit, which is right here, and that fruit will grow. And usually when you pick okra, here's some okra here and some here. This is a perfect size for picking, especially if you're going to steam the okra. I like it steamed really lightly, like bring water to a boil, drop the okra in, and return it to a boil, turn it off, and dump the water off. That's how I prefer it. It's still crunchy, it's not too slimy. I really love it that way, or of course fried. And like this pod down here would be better, more suited for frying because it's larger and not quite as tender. You'll also notice underneath the okra that I have beets there. Let's see. So I have beets under here. I've also done some Swiss chard under that. So this is a great big red leaf. Those are Swiss chard underneath the okra. So I companion plant. I put the beets under there just because they would have shade, and beets actually are a cooler weather item. So the shade kind of helps them. So that's what our garden looks like this morning. I just wanted to do a quick thing. We're gonna pick greens today because we've got some aphids coming in on them, and then I'll again spray all the greens with neem oil and try to get rid of those aphids. So there you go. Hope y'all have a great weekend and enjoy the eclipse.